perfect way to start out our day. Thank you so much to Peter and Mary Alice Amidon over there in Brattleboro, Vermont. We're going to hear more from them in just a moment. But first, it is my pleasure to welcome you to day 1672 of the Daily Antidote of Song, brought to you by Carpe Diem Arts. My name is Erin. I'm one of the people on staff for Daily Antidote, and I am delighted to be here with you, all of you who are here in this room. First of all, a big hello to everyone watching out there on our live streams, be it Facebook or YouTube. Hello, live streamers. We're so excited that you are watching this with us, either live in real time at noon Eastern time today on Saturday, November 2nd, or whenever it is that you are enjoying this show. Hello to our fearless leader, Jojo Rossi, in New Hampshire today. Hello to Sheila in Florida. Hi to Hoda in BC, Annette in California, Dan in Vienna, Virginia. Good to see you. Hello to Don and one curly top in Vermont. Hello to Bonnie in Boise, Idaho. Hi to Patrice and Fred in Brattleboro. Hello to Carolyn in Boise, Idaho. Laris in the UK. Hey to Susan in Cincinnati. Jamie in Victoria, BC. Bob in Albany, New York. Sue in Seattle. Benet in Berkeley, California. Caroline in DC. And hello to Storm in Massachusetts. Hi to Nancy in Washington State. Hello to Athena in Brooklyn, New York. Hey to Moon in Alexandria, Virginia. Hello to Lynn and Cliff. Hi to Gary in Massachusetts. Deli, hey, how you doing? Hello to one of our other tech folks holding fort behind the scenes, Candace in LA. Hello to Elizabeth in California. Aloysius driving in Massachusetts. Lynn in Connecticut. Kathy in Colorado. And Kat in Vermont. We've got a few more people popping into the room. I see Trish. Hello, good morning. Hi to Kay in Texas. Hello to Julie in Ontario, Canada. And I see that David and Elsie in Oakland and Joe's mom, Ray, are all popping into the room. So hello to all of you. I hope that you heard your hellos, and if you didn't, you'll hear your goodbyes later. Now, we have had a wonderful week so far, singing about voting and voting rights and the importance of voting and democracy. We've had such a great week. We still have one more day after today, but today we have the fabulous, the incomparable Peter and Mary Alice Amidon, who are coming in from Brattleboro, Vermont. You know them, you love them. They are some of the absolute pillars of folk music tradition in the United States, and we are so lucky to have them be one of our most consistent musical and just I guess emotional support partners, because they do so much more than just sing and play. They are here hosting, they are here introducing us to other musicians. They do so much. So how are you guys doing? How are
well,
you?
right now,
After that intro, fantastic.
I feel much better than I did about a minute ago. The Aaron and to the thank you to the fabulous Aaron, who's devoted to good music and our wonderful community. And I just said to Mary Alice, said, you know, what's the best thing we can do right now? Let's go visit our Daily Antidote cousins. This is where I really want to be right now. I could not be in a happier, better place. So thank you all coming, Daily Antidote family. We're really excited about this particular song and everything behind it. But let's just get going on the song itself. So what you want to do is you're going to go, Mother, Father, take a stand.
Father, Father, take a stand.
Vote for me until I can.
Vote for me until I can.
Sister, brother, take my hand. Vote for me until I can. Sister,
brother, take my hand. Vote for me until I can.
Doctor, lawyer, preacher, man. Doctor, lawyer, preacher, man.
Vote for me until I can.
So it's father, mother, take a stand. Sister, brother, take my hand. Doctor, lawyer, preacher, man. Let's just try that whole thing, starting with mother, father, take a stand. Mother, father, take a stand.
Vote for me until I
can. Sister, brother, take my hand.
Vote for me until
Doctor, lawyer, preacher, man. Doctor, lawyer, preacher, man.
Vote for me until I can.
Now listen. Voting is more than a right, you see. Your turn. Voting is more than a right, you see. Voting is your responsibility. Your turn.
Voting is your responsibility.
Voting is more than a right, you see. And then, voting is your responsibility to me. Try that.
Voting is your responsibility to me.
Faya Rose, everybody say Faya Rose Touré. Faya Rose Touré. She was on the Daily Antidote once, and we were just talking about how precious a moment that was. It was amazing. And I got one of the links is to that visit she had on the Daily Antidote, so be sure to check that out. I'll talk about more of the links later, but I just want to say that the idea of this is she lives down there in Selma, Alabama. She does a lot of, Faya Rose Touré does a lot of extraordinary work, including working with the children, including teenagers in Selma, to make sure they know the history of how significant Selma is to voting in the United States. And she writes songs with the kids, and this is one of the songs she wrote. And what you got to really check out on those links is the original of this, which is the first link of those kids singing this when they were, well, it was in the 80s, so they're not kids anymore. Anyway, let's try that chorus again, and we'll go right into the song. Mother, Father,
Take a stand, vote for me until I can.
sister, brother,
Take my hand, vote
doctor,
for
lawyer,
me
preacher,
until I
man.
can.
Doctor, lawyer, preacher, man.
Vote for me until I can.
Voting is more than a right, you see.
Voting is your responsibility.
Voting is more than a right, you see.
Voting is your responsibility
To me. And now this next part, Mary Alice is going to sing the verses, but you're going to play the bass part, and the bass part goes like this. The bass part goes like this. Do 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 do. Try that. Do 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 do. Two more. Do 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 do. One more. Do 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 do. The fourth part goes like this. Do 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 do. Try that. Do 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 do. That's it. Sing that with me. Do 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 do.
I'm just a little child, you say.
Do 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 do.
I know what's going on in the world today. But when I hear the children cry now, I have to ask the reason why. I would like to bring about a change, but I'm too young to play the voting game. Won't somebody hear my plea now? To the polls, vote for
Mother,
me.
Mother, Father, take a stand. Vote for me until I can. Sister, brother, take my hand. Vote for me until I can. Doctor, lawyer, preacher, man. Vote for me until I can. Voting is more than a right, you see.
Voting is your responsibility.
Voting is more than a right, you see.
Voting is your responsibility to me.
Do 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 do.
I'm just a little child to say. I know what's going
On
on
in the world today, but when I hear the children cry, I have to ask the reason why. I would like to bring about a change. I'm too young to play the voting game. Won't somebody hear my plea? Go to the polls and vote for me. I say, Mother, Father, take a stand. Vote for me until I can. Sister, brother, take my hand. Vote for me until I can. Doctor, lawyer, preacher, man. Vote for me until I can. Voting is more than a right, you see. Voting is your responsibility to me. Voting is more than a right, you see. Voting is your responsibility to me. Thank you. What a great song. Wow. Thank you so much for singing with us. So you can just pass that around. You know, all this is the children saying, I'm too young to vote, but you can vote for me, and I really, really, really want you to do that. Let me talk a little bit about Faya Rose Touré. She got her law degree from Harvard, and she's a songwriter and a playwright. She's so many things. She let me tell you all the things that she founded. Actually, she founded the National Voting Rights Museum. I'm gonna actually have you say these after me. You ready? Here we go. Here's what she founded: the National Voting Rights Museum,
The National Voting Rights Museum,
the McRae Learning Center.
the McRae Learning Center,
This is a long one. Good luck. The Ancient Africa Slavery and Civil War Museum. The Ancient Africa Slavery and Civil War Museum. The bridge crossing. This next thing is a celebration about the crossing of the bridge in Selma that happened. You know, that amazing moment that happened. It's called the Bridge Crossing Jubilee. Ready?
Bridge Crossing Jubilee.
And the 21st Century Youth Leadership Movement. The 21st Century Youth Leadership Movement. That's okay. And she's the first, also the first African American female judge in Alabama, and an extraordinary woman. So there's two clips of hers on the there's two clips of her. Well, the one that says Faya Rose Touré on the Daily Antidote. That's in your links. And that was just check that out, because she's just, you know, all the stuff that she does, she's down to earth and generous person that's been on the Daily Antidote. And the other one is her. I just found this just this morning. Faya Rose Touré speaking at the Selma Bridge Crossing Jubilee in 2023 with President Biden sitting right behind her. He's about to speak after her. So those are two. So yeah, so you can just from all of that you can hear what what an amazing woman is. She also wrote the classic song that we've done here before. I'm gonna lift my sister up. She is not heavy. It's really easy. Just here you go. I'm gonna lift my sister up. She is not heavy. I'm gonna lift my sister up. She is not heavy. If I don't lift her up, I will fall down. Which is one of our anthems we have that we sing it so many times when that's a fitting song to sing.
I will say we've sung the voting song at many assemblies in school. When we did school assembly programs, we'd have the teachers teach the kids before we got there the choruses to a couple of songs, and it was pretty exciting to hear 200, 300, 400 kids singing "Vote for Me Until I Can."
I can only imagine. I actually think that the school that I teach at on election day is doing what we are calling an election day teach-in. So I guess sort of a form of, not quite protest, but a form of activism that ideally is going to just dedicate the entire day to showing and reminding the kids of how important voting is, where voting came from, like how a democratic system gets put in place, the history of voting rights, what groups have been excluded from voting and why, when they gained the right to vote, if they have yet. And just reminding them of like also the nuances in terms of the way that our voting system works, the electoral college, et cetera, et cetera. But I can't imagine a more fitting song, and so I might have to incorporate that into the lesson plan that I'm going to be
good for
that
you.
Would be great.
What lucky kids. Well, lucky kids that get such an education. Because it's great to go as deep as you're talking about it too, because it's so easy to say, oh, this is what people do. They just vote, and then they decide together, and it's just how
especially because
how fragile and not to be taken for granted, and how fragile it is, and
not only not to be taken for granted, but just understanding the intricacies and the nuances, because it can be it's so hard to do things when we don't understand them. And the American voting system is really convoluted, and it can be incredibly difficult to understand, especially when you kind of have this simplistic idea of a democracy: one body, one vote, one person, one vote. And that's just not how it works. And so then when you grow up and you learn that that's not how it works, it can be really disheartening.
And we're excited about the project, the Songs for Democracy project you got going. We're going to be, we just found out, we're very honored that we're going to be on the 3rd volume of it. We've got Emma's Revolution is one of the groups that's on that. So they're coming out day by day. We know that Joe is not just sitting around
Joe is never
knitting all day
sitting
long. We know
around.
that she's churning these babies out. So big hand for Joe for this incredible real time production of great songs about voting.
It is such a wonderful project, and especially it's wonderful to see so many Daily Antidote of Song folks working on a project that has nothing to do with the Daily Antidote. It's
No,
just that this
right.
is a wonderful
It's a whole nother
community
thing.
that
Yeah.
brings musicians and activists together who then sometimes say, hey, separate from this great thing, let's do this other great thing. It's really,
Yeah.
really wonderful. So please
It's,
check that out, everybody. You will not be disappointed.
who are some of the other folks that have come out already on that? Some of the
Let's
other
see.
singers.
I'm not sure of any of them
Yeah.
besides Emma's Rev
Oh,
and
Emma's
the two of
Revolution.
you.
Yeah. Really.
Joe, do you have any other names you want to throw in the chat? And I can. Oh, Holly Near is on there.
Oh,
That's
fantastic.
fabulous. We've had Holly Near in this room plenty
Oh,
of times.
Yeah.
terrific.
Chris Matthews, one of our favorites. That's incredible.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. Oh, John McCutcheon.
Oh yeah, good old John.
That makes
yeah.
sense.
So, right, it makes a lot of sense once we see these names. Or like, these are exactly the people who do this wonderful work. Joe Jenks, Reggie Harris. So no surprises
Oh,
here. Just some of your
fantastic.
absolute favorite artists and activists.
Yeah, that
So
sounds
this is a
great.
really wonderful project. Everybody, please go check it out.
Yeah. No, we got a history of both John McCutcheon and Reggie and Reggie, uh, who is actually Reggie's become a very good friend. So yeah, I just want to mention a couple of the things in the link. We got the first link, as I mentioned, is the Children of Selma, the original recording from which we learned this song. The second one is when Sam, in 1992, Sam and Stefan, who are now in their 40s, were sopranos. And it's a recording of them singing the Vote for Me when they were sopranos back then. Really sweet. And then the next one, and then let's see, what is, how many years later? 2020. Then 28 years later, it's to 2020. We did a big thing that Becky Graver put together this project about voting in 2020. And I put together a virtual thing with our grandchildren, Desmond and Arthur, and Mary Alice, myself, and Sam, our son Sam, and our son Stefan, and his wife Zara, and Sam's wife Beth. So that's really a fun version of Vote for Me. And of course, the Daily Antidote, Faya Rose and the Daily Antidote on 21, and then her speaking at the Selma Jubilee. And then make sure you check out the Wiki page too of Faya. It's one of the person I've never met her. You know, the only time I've met her was Aaron was here.
Really?
Where I mean, there's so many, and it's really I have to say there's just so many.
And Kathy Bullock met her that day too.
That's true. Kathy
That's
met her. You know,
incredible.
there's so many people, so many musicians who are now my very good friends who I've only seen on the Daily Antidote of Song.
Which is remarkable because I do feel like from the outside perspective, we all have this idea of like, I wonder which of these musicians who all sort of perform in the same place, perform in the same cultural canon.
Yeah.
I wonder if they all know each other. I wonder if they're friends. I wonder if they've talked. And a lot of times they have, and a lot of times they haven't. And so it's really, really wonderful to get these people who we, the listeners, kind of categorize as one group of people.
Yes.
Watch them meet for the first time. It's really, really incredible to watch and to get to witness and listen to.
On the day after January 6th, the big January 6th day was January 7th. And we were privileged to be on that day, which Joe made into a really special and meaningful day to ponder what had just happened. And Leah Morris was on. Remember that? Leah Morris was on that day. And I had never met her before. And wow, I mean, I remember I said a few things about what I felt had just happened, but then Leah came on, and she was just so. All you folks probably have seen her on the Daily Antidote. She's a regular in the Daily Antidote, and I recommend you go check her out on YouTube. But then she came. But so that was my, and I felt like I really didn't know her by the time she actually showed up at our church, and she did a whole concert and singing at our church, and it was just. Anyway, I just want to thank you for that. So, yeah. So here we are. Should we do another?
Let's sing it again.
Let's do it again.
We are ready.
I'll just say, when they hear the Children of Selma, Alabama on the end of their album, they say, "Use it before you lose it."
Exactly. Oh my Lord.
As we all should.
Yeah, from the mouth of babes. So, how does the song
Just
go?
a little child, you say.
Uh,
That part. First. I'm just a little child, you say.
I know what's going on in the world today. When I hear the children cry, I have to ask the reason why. I would like to bring about a change. I'm too young to play the voting game. Won't somebody hear my plea? Go to the polls and vote for me. I say, mother, father, take a stand. Vote for me until I can. Sister, brother, take my hand. Vote for me until I can. Doctor, lawyer, preacher, man. Vote for me until I can. Voting is more than a right, you see. Voting is your responsibility. Voting is more than a right, you see. Voting is your responsibility to me. Sing the verse if you want to. It's right there. I'm just a little child, you say. I know what's going on in the world today. But when I hear the children cry, now I have to ask the reason why. I would like to bring about a change. I'm too young to play the voting game. Won't somebody hear my plea? Now go to the polls and vote for me. I say, mother, father, take a stand. Vote for me until I can. Sister, brother, take my hand. Vote for me until I can. Doctor, lawyer, preacher, man. Vote for me until I can. Voting is more than a right, you see. Voting is your responsibility. Voting is more than a right, you see. Voting is your responsibility to
Me.
Thank you for all of your work, Aaron and Joe. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for singing
Great
with
to
us.
see you.
And
Sing
And
with
thank you. Thank you both. Thank you to you and to all of your wonderful family who is so often your musical accompaniment. Thank you to everybody here who is watching. Please do go get out the vote. If you are at all able, please go and cast your vote. Even if you feel like you're in a state where it doesn't matter, where your voice and your opinion is already represented, just being able to say, this is the system that we are working with, and I did exactly what I could. I did all that I could. That is a good feeling to be able to say that you spoke out and that you made a decision for yourself, for the people that you love, for those little people who cannot vote yet and who will one day vote in the future. Hopefully, one day they'll vote for you. They'll vote for everything that you stand for and that you taught them and that you brought them up thinking and believing and understanding. So vote for them now. They'll vote for you later. They'll vote for us long after we're all gone. Please go vote. So we do have one day left in our fabulous get out the vote voting rights and just encouraging everybody to vote week. Voting week, we have one more day. We have David Roth tomorrow on Sunday, November 3rd. Of course, that's going to be a wonderful time. And we've had all of these wonderful folks earlier in the week. So if any day this week you were not present, or you just want to go and watch it again, because I wouldn't blame you, you can find all of those live streams on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook page. Please go watch them. Send them to anybody who you think they might make a difference to, or just cheer up a little bit, or just have a little activist song to sing while we are all trying to do the work down here on the ground. So thank you so much to Peter and Mary Alice Amidon. Everybody give them another big hand.
Our
Coming
pleasure.
from Brattleboro. It is always such a delight to have you here. Thank you for bringing all of your knowledge and your wisdom and your gigantic big hearts full of love
Thank you.
for everybody in the world. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who's watching out there on the live streams, whether you are watching right now today at around noon 30 Eastern time, or if you're watching any other time. We're so glad that you are out there watching with us. Watch it as many times as you want. There is no limit. Thank you and goodbye to Patrice and Fred in Brattleboro. Thank you and goodbye to Bob in Albany, New York, Annette in California, Dan in Vienna, Virginia. Thank you and goodbye to Don and Kyla, and I see that must be Kyla, and some curly tops in Vermont. Goodbye to Bonnie in Boise, Idaho, Carolyn also in Boise, Idaho. Bye to Laris in the UK, Susan in Cincinnati, Sue in Seattle, our fearless leader Jojo Rossi in New Hampshire. Thank you for all that you do. Keep on doing it. Goodbye to Caroline in DC, Julie in Ontario, Canada. We've got Greg, a reveler, of course, in North Dakota today. Oh, okay. Oh, then you misspelled, because right now you're in North Dakota and I think you're in Maryland. There you go. Bye to Chuck in the Grand Rapids. Bye to Moon in Alexandria, Virginia. Hoda in British Columbia. Bob, goodbye, goodbye. Let's see who else we've got here. Goodbye to Mabel and the Cinnamon Bears in Massachusetts. Bye to Kathy in Colorado, Delhi in Maryland, Jamie in Victoria, BC, Trish in Victoria, BC, Sheila in Florida, Storm in Massachusetts, Aloysius also in Massachusetts, Benet in Berkeley, California, goodbye, goodbye, to Nancy in Washington State, Gary in Massachusetts, Elizabeth in California, Lynn in Connecticut, Kat in Vermont, Candace, one of our fabulous tech folks working behind the scenes in LA. Thank you for all that you do. Ray, that's Joe's mom. Goodbye to Jane in Texas. Jill, goodbye. Goodbye to Amy. Goodbye to Diane in Massachusetts. Neil in Boston. Goodbye to Cricket. Bye to Lynn and Cliff in Vermont. Bye to Anne in Nashville. And I think that is everybody who is joining us today. So thank you. Make sure that you're registered. Make sure that you schedule a time to go vote. I'm going to go vote today, actually. I'm doing my early voting today. Make sure that you take care of yourselves, take care of those around you. Keep on singing. This has been the Daily Antidote of Song, brought to you by Carpe Diem Arts. I'm Erin. I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.